Welcome to the Complete Fitness Podcast with Core for Complete Fitness. Your episode is starting in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, peoples. Happy January 25th. Hope you're having a great week, a great month, great start of 2023. Before we dive into today's podcast, if you could please hit the subscribe button. It'll help us grow this thing. If you know anybody that you think could benefit from it, if you could please share it with them as well. It'll help us grow this thing for you guys. And if you have taken anything from this podcast or the past ones, again, please subscribe. If you could share it on your social medias. And if you think it'll help somebody else, feel free to send them a text message or tag somebody in whatever we're doing. Now, today, I'm going to talk to you about a whole bunch of stuff. So we kind of in life go through these peaks and valleys, more or less. And we kind of have these cycles with our life, right? Where we have to focus on one thing and then another thing and then another thing and then another thing. And for me personally, we're, at least in my household, it seems like we're kind of coming into this switch with our kids where they're kind of out of baby mode. Our youngest, we're potty training right now, so hopefully that gets done sooner than later. Not going so great. But that's going to be out of diapers, and then before you know it, you get to this point where you're like, we're slowly as parents, like getting our life back. We're not so super glued into having to change diapers and not being able to sleep and having specific baby food and bottles and heating the bottles and diaper changes and stuff. It's like, okay, once this kid's potty trained, our life is going to get a little bit easier. And you go through these waves and these cycles and these peaks and valleys. And as human beings, I think a lot of us get so stuck in what is currently going on that we forget to adapt and change as these cycles happen. People, generally speaking, are terrified of change. We don't like it. We get scared of it. We tend to be very, very focused in what we're doing now. We want it to be permanent because we're comfortable. And when you're comfortable, you stop growing, right? Everything just stops right at that deadline. And if you're like, cool, I don't want to grow, I want to stay here, you can really only go 2 places, and that's right there forever. Or you're going to fall backwards because you're going to start to get complacent. And when you get complacent, you get sloppy. And when you get sloppy, you digress. So before you know it, all that progress you made stops and you slowly start to slide back. So if you're stuck, if you reached a point where you're like, I'm not growing, my challenge to you this year is to push yourself into kind of that new evolution, right? Where it doesn't have to be in terms, if you don't have kids, that's one thing. But I really want 2023 to be the focus for you and everybody watching and listening, is to go 100% all in on one thing. Pick out what it is. It can be your family, it can be your body, it can be your job, and really give it 100% focus. One of the things, looking back now, back when all the pandemic stuff hit, I know it was stressful and terrible for damn near everybody, us included, but kind of the one silver lining that I was able to take with that was, we were pregnant with our second baby right when all that stuff hit. So we had our kid in the summer of 2020. And looking back now, not being able to go to work and not knowing if your business would survive was certainly extremely stressful. But now being able to look back at that time period and go, wow, this was a unique experience, being able to be home with our oldest daughter for the last time, like just the 3 of us for those months. Granted, I was like a nervous basket case wreck, but it was nice to have the 3 of us. And then when we had our second daughter, being able to be home and being able to kind of bring everything together and get used to having a baby again. Again, not the ideal situation because I didn't know if our gym was going to survive or what the hell I would do with 2 kids and a newborn baby if I didn't have a job. But looking back in hindsight, everything worked out. And it's like, wow, we got to kind of share this moment and this experience together. And I think now being where we are and making it through a a part of me probably would be upset if I wasn't able to be home and enjoy those moments with our family. Somebody had a great post online a couple weeks ago, and it said, I think it was, I'm going to butcher his name. Hold on. Jordan Peterson. That's who it was. Almost called him something different. But he had a post and he goes, "You're only with your kids in like toddler mode for essentially 5 years." He goes, "After that, they go to school for the next 17 to 18 years, and they're gone almost every single day, Monday through Friday, besides the summertime, obviously, when they have school off." So he goes, "You really want to try to make those 5 years count." And he goes, "I know that it's stressful and I know that you're in a whirlwind and you get home from work and, you got kids screaming and fighting and you got babies and diapers and you're both sleep deprived. But it goes by quick. Having our oldest one in kindergarten now and knowing our youngest one is going to start preschool after this summer, like the preschool. So she'll be just 3 days a week. But still, I'm thinking like, how weird is it going to be to not have two kids in the house or one kid in the house at least 3 days a week. And then after that, it turns into both of them gone. And then me and my wife are kind of starting this new cycle where we have more freedom. Maybe we can work actually from home more without having screaming in the background and things like that. But you go through these changes. And the one thing you can always bet on in life is there's going to be changes. Everything is going to change. Yet, so one thing besides paying taxes and dying, you can bet that things are always going to change. So if you're so stuck into not growing mode or being stuck where you are and what worked, this is how I used to do it 5-10 years ago, you're going to stay where you were 5-10 years ago. You have to be able to evolve and adapt and change. Think of like even like the way the internet is with marketing and stuff. How many people or how many businesses have you seen that got stuck kind of into the old way of marketing where they were sending mailers and the yellow pages and things like that? And those businesses, if you stuck with that model, odds are you're either out of business or you're completely gone. Everything now is on Facebook. And then the next thing I think is going to be all the artificial intelligence stuff. So you can see all these chapters. And another great quote, they said, "You can either fight change, fight resistance, fight growth, fight evolution, or you can move with it because it's going to go without you, whether you're tagging along or not." So going 100% into this year, guys, don't be scared to grow. Don't be scared to evolve. If it means you finally want to get in shape, a lot of people almost are nervous or scared of letting themselves down. And they go, "I don't want to start something because every time I've started this, I've failed in the past. I've started a diet and I've let myself down. And I started exercising and I've let myself down. And if I start again, it's just going to be another one of those things that I start. Everybody can point their fingers at me and say, you're perfect just the way you are. But if you really want to do something, you have to realize that there's going to be challenges, there's going to be change, there's going to be, just like I said, you can expect things to change along the way. And what worked for you in the first week, probably in week 2, you're going to have to adjust. In week 3, you're going to have to adjust. But don't get so dead set on what worked last week. And this is the way things always have to be, because it doesn't. You guys have the power to kind of change as you grow and change every single day. I think a lot of us get so hyper focused on what's on the finish line that we almost forget to focus on what's immediately in front of us. So for instance, if you're trying to lose weight and you're trying to become healthy, and you have made a quick video on this the other day, but if you have to lose 20 pounds, 50 pounds, 100 pounds, and you look at this giant number and you go, how am I going to tackle this? If even this week, if everything goes according to plan, I'm going to lose 2 pounds. Next week after that, I know I got some stuff going on. I got a party. That's going to make the scale go up. So it's like I'm right back to where I started. And you keep looking in the distance. And if you keep doing that, it's going to be cloudy and gray. You're never going to know where you're going to go. Instead, just focus on every single 24 hours, conquering, winning, and conquering, going all in on the current day right now. What do I have to do today to win and succeed? And just focus on today and do that. Make it the best day you possibly can. Don't even worry about tomorrow. Don't even worry about next week. Tomorrow, wake up and go, okay, here's a new day. This day, what do I have to do to knock it out of the park? I got to just drink my water. I got to hit the gym at some point today. And I can't eat like a psychopath this afternoon. Okay, cool. I'll do those 3 things and then I'll win. And then you win and you win and you win. And those small wins over time build up confidence. Now, what you looked at as, oh my God, I got to tackle this day, you do it once and you're like, that wasn't so bad. I can do this again. And then you replicate it and replicate it. And before you know it, you're like, holy shit, I strung a whole week together. That wasn't that big of a deal. Let's do another day. And then it's 2 weeks. And you're like, all right, 2 weeks are done. I can do one more day. Let's do one more day. So instead of thinking how difficult something is going to be, how much it's going to suck, or oh my God, the end game is so far away, just focus every day. I have to knock today out of the park. I got to make it a great day. I got to win the next 24 hours and you just kind of keep kicking the can down the road for yourself. And then eventually you stack on together 60, 90, 100 days. That's how true transformations are made, guys, is those small little increments over and over again. But that all starts again with you committing, going 100% in and not deviating. So for instance, if you tried to win the day and that was your goal and you said, I'm going to conquer just today, that doesn't mean traffic got in the way and you're not going to work out today. That doesn't mean, you were supposed to get 10,000 steps, you only got 8,000 and that's okay. That means, well, I'm going to have just maybe 4 bites of a donut instead of the whole donut at lunch. That doesn't mean win the day. I mean going 100% in every single day on you, and play that Jedi mind trick where you're with yourself, where you can go, you know what? I think I said this in one of the other ones. Jocko Willink, if you guys follow him, has this game that he plays. And if he wants to take a day off of working out or kind of a rest day, he tells himself, work out today. And if you really want to take a rest, then just do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and he's like, God, all right, if maybe I was just kind of being a little bitch yesterday. Maybe I want to take a day off today. And he goes, no, take a day off tomorrow. Just work out today and then you'll work out, take a rest day tomorrow if you need it. And he just keeps kicking the can down the road. And he goes, 9 times out of 10, you're just having a weak moment that you just need to tackle. But when you're focused on winning what is right in front of you, when you're focused on winning right the next 24 hours, that's ultimately how you succeed. And you string together big months, big 6-month chunks, big year chunks over and over and over again. So again, my plan for you guys, 2023, make it a goal, make it a point. You can write this down, even put it on your mirror and lipstick if you want, put it in your car, put it in your phone. All you have to do to make this year a huge year for you is win the next 24 hours. And this can be applied to anything, guys. You can do this in terms of your health and fitness. You can do this in terms of trying to grow a business. You can do this in terms of, anything. You can do this in terms of, I really want to focus at home and focus more on my family, maybe your kids, all this stuff you can do. I want to be a better father, a better parent for the next 24 hours. Put 100% focus on your kids. There's a article I was reading about just the mindset of children when they grow up. And they go, kids don't remember time, but they remember moments. So, and I think this is true, just looking back on my own childhood, kids don't remember if you were home 8 hours one day, or if you were home 3 hours one day, or 4 hours, or 1 hour, or you had a work trip over the weekend. They kind of just know you were there. But what they remember in their brains are moments with you. So if you're just the person that's kind of sitting on their phone around the house, or you're outside and you're preoccupied, and yes, you're present, but you're not really present in terms of like being and talking with your kids, make that a goal for the next 24 hours. His phone's going to go down. Kid has my 100% attention for an hour or 2 hours. We're going to watch a movie. And then automatically that kind of becomes your new norm, right? That becomes your new standard operating procedure. And again, what was challenging when you started, you adapt, you change, you evolve. And if you do that days in and day out over the course of a calendar year, you're like, holy crap, I started at day one. I came full circle. And it didn't really seem like that much work because I was just focused on doing one day at a time. And I know, like for kids, especially, when they're newborns, it feels like it's never going to end. It seems like you're sleep deprived, you're trying to work, you got family obligations, you got crap to do around the house, you're trying to like live somewhat of like a normal life and still enjoy yourself. And you're like, where is the breaking point? But again, guys, focus on 24 hours. Don't think what next week is going to be. How the hell am I going to do this for 3, 4, 5, 6 months? You know, I guess taking care of yourself and having kids are kind of similar, in which people tend to look way down the line on how they're going to piece this together instead of just focusing on, I got to kick some ass today. Might be a little bit uncomfortable. There might be some challenging moments, but I'm just going to kick some ass today. And then tomorrow, wake up and go, all right, don't worry about tomorrow. I just got to win today. And when you can repeat that over and over, that is how you kick ass for months, years on end. So hope you guys enjoyed. Now, God, last week of January. Next podcast will be February 1st for you guys. Before we close things out, guys, like always, if you need supplements in any way, shape, or form, we just started a shred program for our clients at the gym. And everybody has said it's the best protein they've ever had. The vanilla cupcake one, delicious. The chocolate one, the cinnamon roll one. If you guys need any protein, any pre-workouts, we have an extreme one that is very extreme. We have a natural one that if you're doing high intensity interval training, probably is a little bit better for you. But if you go to core4supplements.com and you buy whatever you need at the checkout, use the code word podcast where it says coupon code, I believe. You'll save 10% off your entire order. If you spend over $100, you get free shipping on everything. So if you want to buy a bunch of stuff and get the free shipping, you can, and you can save 10% on top of that. But we got a vegan protein, regular protein. We got deep sleep gummies. We got joint flex gummies if you have any knee issues or arthritis. Tons of great stuff there, guys. It's all FDA approved, so you know you're not getting a bunch of junk as well. But that's all I got for you peoples. Hopefully that helps steer you in the right direction going into February. I know now is the time where the real ones separate from the fake ones, where everybody's New Year's resolutions, you either are still doing them or in the next 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to go back to the 2022 self of you, which we don't do that on this podcast. So keep kicking butt, keep taking names, guys. Again, focus on the next 24 hours, and you'll be amazed at how quickly you can grow. Adios.